What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris, and I'm gonna talk all about a movie and spoil it, tell you all the things that happen in it. So I hope you've seen it, and I really hope that you will watch this one. Today I'm talking about From Beyond. It's super freaky, sci-fi, horror, old school, practical effects heavy type of movie that I really, really love, and I was so happy watching this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right into it. This movie came out in 1986, and it is based on an H.P. Lovecraft story, I guess. The movie starts off with a guy typing at a desk, and when they show close-up on his face, I was like, holy shit, it's Bruce Campbell. It's not him. It's not Bruce Campbell. It is Jeffrey Combs. And I've seen him in other stuff. He kind of looks like a young Bruce Campbell to me. So he's click-clacking away on his keyboard, and the computer tells him something, and he walks over to this machine in the middle of the room. You see a bunch of other machines on the sides of the room, and they're all very big, and they've all got lots of knobs and turny, twitchy, switchy swatches. And he's clicking things on, he's doing this and that, and he turns the machine on. You know, and these little fork things on the top of it start glowing like a pinkish purple, and then starts humming. He starts rubbing his forehead. He's like, something's going on, this frequency, or these lights or something, like, Meh. And then he looks up, and he's seeing these little floating worms. These weird little wormy creatures are just kind of floating around, up around the machine and in the machine. One of them comes up and like bites him on the face, and he's like, Wah! And it's a little practical effect. It's a physical thing that bites him. You can tell what kind of effect it is. But they did an interesting little thing with the other worms where they're a little more transparent, and then he shuts down the machine. So the worm disappears, but he's still bleeding, so he knows whatever that was actually happened. Runs downstairs, and apparently they're in this large house, and he knocks on a guy's door, and a guy shows up. He's like, I did it. It worked. The resonator worked. This guy that he's talking to is the doctor that he's working for, and his name is Dr. Pretorius. So the doctor comes up, and they turn the machine back on, because the doctor needs to see it for himself to know what's going on. And the little monster thing starts showing up again, and there's lots of colors and weird shit. Jeffrey Combs dude is like, we need to turn it off right now, and the doctor guy's like, no! This is amazing. We must see what it can show us. The windows in the room where the machine is start breaking out. And then there's crazy lights and noises. One of the neighbor ladies is like calling the police, and she's like, this is a noise complaint, and I'm disturbed about what they're doing. They're making crazy experiments over there in Dr. Pretorius' labs. This lady has a dog. Her little poodly dog escapes out the front door and runs toward the house, and she's going to find her dog, and she like walks in the front door, and she's following the noise, and she kind of just walks up the stairs, and she gets to like the top stair where the noise is coming from, and kind of gets to the door, and she's just like about to like open the door. An axe comes through the door, and so she's like, ah! She starts running down the stairs, and then he opens the door, and it turns out it's Crawford, which is the name of the of Jeffrey Combs guy. And he starts running towards her, which she thinks he's chasing her. But he actually passes her on the staircase because he's trying to get the F out of there. F meaning Pretorius. He's trying to get the Pretorius right the fuck out of there. There's cops already that had shown up fairly quickly, I guess. And the cops grab him and take him away. And then they show back in the house. The dog has gone up to the science room and is licking the body of the doctor. He's like licking where the head would be, but we don't really see what happened right there. And then opening credits. All that happened before the credits even started, and I'm giving kudos. I'm very excited about this.
From Beyond.
By H.P. Lovecraft. It seems very cool so far, so I'm excited. So a couple people are showing up to investigate the crazy guy that the cops brought in to this mental asylum that was the doctor's assistant guy. She's walking by the rooms of the crazy people. She's looking in the window, and like some guy's in, and he's like, I'm sorry, God, I'm sorry, and he's like doing something like that. Another person's like screaming, rah, 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 rah. And then she looks in another window, and it felt like you were at Arkham Asylum, like you were going to see like Two-Face and the Joker and shit. Anyway, well, you do see the Joker, because the next room she looks in is some guy. You see the back of some guy, and he's naked. but he's pulling one of these. So dude's having a good time with his crazy self. She starts talking to the guy, crazy guy Crawford, and he's telling her about the resonator machine and how when it's turned on, there are creatures that show up, and it's because the machine stimulates your pineal gland. So that's the only way you could see them, when the machine is turned on and your pineal gland is excited or whatever. He claims that he destroyed the machine. She is like, what the fuck, dude? I want to see that machine. That machine's important and it can show me things and stuff. And Crawford dude is like, it killed him. It bit off his head like a gingerbread man. And I'm totally buying his performance. He always looks wet. He's always just dripping sweat in every scene. And he's just in it. Jeffrey Combs is fucking killing it. The people actually working at this hospital place say, let's do a CAT scan. They put him into the machine. He's like, I don't want to go into the machine. Don't do it. And they're like, yeah, it'll be fine. Slide his body into the CAT scan thing. They walk out a door. And one of the other ladies is just in there smoking a cigarette. Just a door between her and the CAT scan machine. She's just having a nice little Marlboro break. That's an old school thing. They don't really do in movies anymore. Everybody just smokes wherever they want to. In a hospital next to a CAT scan machine. Through the CAT scan, they find out that his pineal gland has been enlarged. The little thing in his brain is getting bigger. Because of the machine or whatever. We need to recreate this experiment. So we're going to need to go back, figure out how to turn on the machine, and do it again, because this is important and we need to know about this. The guy is allowed to be released into custody of blonde lady, but she says, I'm only taking you out of here. I'm only releasing you if we redo the experiment. And he's like, no, man, I don't want to do it. And she's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to leave you here, and you're just going to stay locked up. So, I mean, fucking do it. The dude from Dawn of the Dead shows up and escorts them to back to the house. His name is Ken Foree, or Foray, I don't know how to pronounce it. He was not only in the old 1978 Dawn of the Dead movie, which is what I recognized him from. He was also in the remake, the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake. They get back to the house, they're outside the gate, and I think it's really neat when you're like out by the gate, and even when you get a little bit closer to the gate of the house where the experiments were taking place in, it's a cool use of like miniatures and stuff, where it kind of looks like it's in the distance, but really it's just a small set piece thing that they created, and like little fake bushes and a house in the distance. But really, like, that's not actually what was going on. It looks pretty cool. I love how they did that. They were very ingenious and ingenuitive. When they're walking up to the house, the lady's saying some shit to the other dudes, and you see that the address of the house is 666. And it's 666 Crazy People Lane, apparently. By the way, Ken Foree has the greatest, like, half-bald head I've ever seen. It's like half, like, split this way. Like, split horizontally. It's like the back of his head has hair and the front half is bald. It's like bald up to, like, there. It's crazy and it's amazing. It's magical. It's a magical thing, really. They lose fucking Crawford immediately. Jeffrey Combs, dude, they just, like, start talking and looking away from the camera, and the guy's just gone, and they're like, where'd he go? What the hell? Oh, man, we better go find him. So lady person, which I will now call by her actress name, Barbara Crampton, is looking around the house. She's going into some of the rooms, and she finds this 50 Shades of Crazy, 50 Shades of Cray, 50 Shades of Cray room where there's like, you know, like S&M, like sex equipment and stuff, and there's a video of Dr. Pretorius. It's an old video that he has recorded of him S&M'ing some girl, and then she moves on. She goes up and finds the science room where the machines are and stuff. There's a chalk outline of where the dead body was, and the chalk outline is missing a head. Did they do chalk outlines, like, in houses? I thought that was just, like, if they were on the street or something. Do they even still do that stuff? So he's like Dr. Sextorius, he's Dr. Pervertius, he's Dr. Pretorius P.I.G. He's the most pervertius Doctorius you've ever seen. Scientific name, Doctorius Perverticus. Jeffrey Combs guy shows up, and they think he's about to attack the woman, but he's not trying to attack the woman. He's trying to destroy the machine so they can't turn it on. But then they realize that he's not really a threat, he's just messing around. Everybody kind of chills out, takes a rest. Lady falls asleep. And Corn Fairy and Comey Jeffers are staring at this woman awkwardly and talking about, like, how beautiful she is. She looks beautiful when she's sleeping. Like, quit creeping on this fucking sleeping woman, you fucking weirdos. You fucking Pretoriuses. Lady wakes up, starts turning on the machines. Jeffrey Combs guy says, don't move or they will get you. The forks are resonating a frequency that stimulates the pineal gland, which I guess makes you see into another dimension of something. When the machines turn on, you get your standard, lots of blinking lights and stuff in the background, and then, like, some wind starts blowing everybody's hair, and, like, a big wind noise. I don't know where the wind's coming from the other dimension, maybe. So when the machine is on, Lady starts rubbing her head the same way that the other guy was, because her pineal gland is being stimulated by the machine. There's, like, bright pink-purple light. She looks at Jeffrey Combs guy, and they both look like they're just wanting to fuck each other immediately. Then you see some little squiddies, some other little practical effect squiddies that were also made a little more translucent, or some effects done by computers, and that, to me, is acceptable because it was a practical thing that they used and made it look more magical, ethereal. These little squiddy, jellyfish, floaty things. Ken Foree's character, and they, like, get him on the arm. It bites his arm. And Crawford dude is like, it's coming. Perverticus shows up. Dr. Proportionate shows up. Jeffrey Combs guy is like, is it really you, Dr. Proporbius? And he's like, well, touch me if you need to feel. If you feel like you should touch me, just so you can know, then touch me. So he does. Crawford dude touches the doctor's body, and the guy's face just kind of, like, falls away into this weird, stripy, slimy-looking face, and it starts doing weird things. Its skin starts moving around and shit. And there's fucking, like, slimy neck splooge flying out, weird effects and stuff, and what's-his-face, fucking Crawford dude shuts the machine down, and so everything turns back to normal a little bit, and the black guy just goes, bleh! And I love these weird, old sci-fi horror movies with these effects. I am so in. I hope there's a lot more of these that I can find.
It's out of control. You've got to turn it off. Something's coming.